Hey guys, welcome to my first live stream. Did a test. I know it seems kind of weird, but it worked. So I upgraded some technology, bought a real webcam. Not using the phone for everything anymore. I don't know if that makes me cooler or not cool. And yeah, I just posted some videos. So I think if you saw my 2017 Prism Jumbo Pack, that was kind of fun. I pulled the Mahomes rookie. It's funny, I posted on Blowout and folks, like kind of doing that. Yeah, it's cool, but it's got the dimple, so it still sucks. Kind of response to it. Or I wouldn't get it graded. Yeah, it's not worth it. Card sucks. It's got a dimple. I'm like, I just thought it was cool to pull it. But you know, um, I've never done live stream, so I don't know if anyone's going to come and chat. It doesn't really matter. I'm just wanting to do this to get videos out without me having to do as much uploading and uplifting. So I've got a few things I got in today I want to talk about, and just talk about the hobby a little bit. You know, um, it's a really interesting time. The hobby right now. It really is. You know, I mentioned in my last video, I've been setting up like card shows since 1992. And, as far as being a dealer or, being a buyer. Now, it's changed a whole lot. And it's really hard to explain, all the changes. I will say this, it's a lot closer to the 90s than it is the 2000s right now. And you know what I mean is that in the 90s there were still good cards being not good for collectors. If you go back and look at those sets, um, it's not those are not the greatest sets. In all honesty, but yeah, if you look at um, I mean 98, 99 sets are still really good, and I think so. That's what I'm trying to parallel is like cards today are really nice and really good. They're still not as cool as the 90s early inserts. The tops and penny aren't going to put the effort into it like they did, or the experimentation that was going on in those time periods. So I don't know what we could do to make that kind of be reality again. It just seems like, yeah, we're never going to go back to that level of creativity. And I think maybe I don't know, like were they if the manufacturers were actually making money during that time period, making those kind of crazy die cuts and wacky material cards and just all the weird stuff that was. I mean, you look at the precious metal, the Donner's preferred cards, like 2 years and done. Like there's been a few cards like it. I think Gold Standard had a card that was similar to that, but yeah, nothing really has come out since then. So yeah, I really don't know if that. If they were really making money during that time period. We knew that a lot of them went bankrupt, consolidated and went bankrupt. So that's probably telling you that it's not making tons of money doing this stuff. So yeah, a big part of this. Um, that they got so creative and competitive. There were so many people, um, you know, um, doing this, or so many different companies making content that I think they were all trying to one up each other, and that caused an escalation in quality, but also an escalation in probably cost. And so we saw the consolidation and going out of business. But what I'm trying to point at is, there was a good video from Northeast Ohio Sports Collector. That guy, I really like his content. He pointed out that he's not worried about these all these cards coming back. And my parallel is that whenever I see repack products, go to card shows, well, my one card show, and saw what was for sale, what I see on Instagram, what I see people, sell cards, it's literally everything's from 2018 on up. And when I hear people talk about 1991 Upper Deck as being vintage, it kind of makes my head kind of spin. But yeah, like, I mean, to some people, like a 2017, 2016 card is, oh my God, where did you get that? That is like a crazy card to find. I mean, I was at the show and I had, Vlad Guerrero Jr. 2016 Chromes, and it was like, oh my God, I can't believe you have a card that old, of a good player, because like those are on permanent collections and nobody's gonna let those things go anymore. It's really weird, for me, because I'm carrying around T206 cards and cards from the 1900s, and they're talking about how a 2013 Prism card is like a unicorn, and that's just perspective. I mean, if you're a modern collector, it is like, these cards are like if they're more than 3 years old, they're kind of like before you were aware of the hobby. And my thing is like, in 1991, when I was, kind of looking around and not just buying packs at the, at the grocery store or convenience store, you know, going around, I started going to some flea markets, with my mom, just looking for cards. Malls were still, a thing, and you could find cards at malls. There was card shops and stuff. And I remember seeing a 1985 Topps card, like in the wild, like not at a card shop or not behind glass. It was just sitting there at a flea market, and I thought it was just like the coolest thing in the world. It wasn't like any player that was good. It was a real 1985 Topps card that wasn't like in a binder or wasn't at a dealer's. And I thought that was just, so I could see that mentality with modern collectors when they see a card from like 2000 or 1991, where they're just like, wow, that card is crazy. And, I think it's kind of cool. I mean, it does remind me of when I first started, but as the guy who's been around since 1986, I'm looking around going like, wow, that card is really, really not rare, not hard to find. Um, yeah, I mean, it's hard to like fault folks who've just started. I mean, like they're just beginning some of this and they're going to figure it out. And I think you saw it. You did see like a lot of folks, kind of shift from this whole base mentality as we kind of knew that, like all the I don't know if these base prism cards are really really the cards you really want to get and build a huge portfolio. Obviously, I mean, I think base cards are, and what I've got here is some white trouts, and these I just picked up, and like I said, I'm going to do a trout video. But you know and so this is kind of how I collect trout. Like, here is a heritage auto, you know and so, like, you know that is, for me, cool, to get a heritage auto. And right behind it, is, like a base trout here, and I think that is, pretty interesting for me, that, like, you know I still collect both. So let's see here. I think I can do this. Maybe this will be better. Maybe not. Interesting. Everything's flipped upside down. All right. Well, we'll just have to deal with it. The first time. Oh, everything is reverse negative here. But yeah, like, but like Chrome, I collect base cards. I do. I mean, I have Chrome base cards. Here's a refractor auto. Here is, the 2020 flashbacks trout. Like, I have these cards. I mean, these are definitely part of my regular collection. And then right behind it's just auto. And I think the idea that you're going to just collect base cards and have them be the cornerstone of your collection if you're looking for value. And I think this is the mentality I have a hard time with in the hobby right now is if it's all about investment and keying in on one or two cards and just buying a lot of them, okay, that's fine. But the base cards were never that card to do that with. Um, and I just think that was just weird. That base cards were singled out, and you know, um, yeah, I mean, and then on the back, just as a preview, here is my Trout, you know, um, gold. Here. Yeah, like this is not a base card, and this is not a card that when I was collecting Trout, like again, I had this card before I had the base rookie. So, I just thought, like if I'm going to spend a lot of money or spend money on a Trout card, it's going to be not the base rookie. It was going to be the gold. Now, should I have gotten the silver and the cognac and all that? Yeah, I should have. I really should have. But this is another thing too about Trout that his cards that I just have a hard time with is like this card's numbered. And to 2011. Let me see here. Focus. To 2011. I don't know how many of those cognac cards and those other cards exist. I just don't know. I mean, is there more than 2,000 diamonds or cognacs? I don't know. I mean, that card's at least a known factor. I know there's 2011 of these. I have no clue on the other one, so that's sort of why I picked that one first. So other cards I've been picking up, just outside of Trout. I haven't really shown a lot of my Trouts, but this guy, and again, if somebody said to me, it's like, hey man, I'm going to invest heavy in Vlad Jr. I'm going to buy, a bunch of his Chrome rookie autos. Wow, that's pretty awesome, dude. Wow, that's pretty cool. My only claim to fame is I went to the same high school as Adrian Hauser, who's a pitcher for the Brewers. I think if you're on my TikTok, I do this. Somebody does this like kind of like show me cards that you like but aren't worth a lot of money video, and I did Adrian Hauser because that's like he went to my high school, and so I had the Super Fractor rookie of Adrian Hauser, and I feel kind of bad because I think maybe his family would like those cards because I have like literally 3 or 4 of his 1 of 1 rookie cards. So if maybe later in life, if I go back to my hometown, I'll give him to his family because I know a lot of his family. The other card I picked up, fitting in my theme, is here's a Jeter 96 finest. It's not the first Jeter refractor, and I've seen this card advertised as like, oh man, this is Jeter's rookie refractor. I'm like, well, it's hard to be a rookie refractor when he's got a 90 finest and then 94 Bowman, and I mean he's got some other cards. Yeah, Adrian Hauser, he puked during I think his rookie year too. Yeah, it was a big deal. Got him on the news. He's a pretty good pitcher. He's definitely a 3 or 4, but he's got good stuff. Got a good sinker ball. He throws hard. So he went through Tommy John surgery already. So I mean, yeah, the guy's good. I mean, I think he is. I mean, if you think about it, like to be a 3 or 4 pitcher on a pretty good team, I mean, you're a pretty good player. I mean, he's not going to be a Hall of Famer or whatever. I mean, not everyone, not everyone can be, but it's good enough to be, if he starts for 5 or 6 years in the majors, I mean, that's better than 99% of all prospects, at least, they come up. Yeah, but this Jeter card, I picked it up, and I've been picking up a lot of refractors. They just are what I kind of just, I just like them because they're one of the things that is it's gaining in popularity, so they're starting to kind of run out, and if you see them on eBay, they just people are really pulling that in and really pushing those the refractor. So I dig it, and you'll see more on my mail day here. I'll open up. I get cards in every day for the most part. Usually I would just wait until I had a whole big stack of them. And if you see my earlier videos, I've opened up like 20 or 30 packages. I mean, now I'm kind of like, yeah, let's do it a little more frequently. Just to get, because like I just have them all piled up in my house, and like what the heck's going on? You got like, it's like Christmas every day for you. So I'm a little like, yeah, I shouldn't wait until I've got 60 packages and open them up and they're all just sitting around everywhere. So this was a Tatis rookie card, just base tops. I picked this up when his cards were really saggy, when he got hurt for a little bit. And I talk about investment in cards. Like if somebody said I went out and bought a bunch of Tatis cards when they were low, I'm like, yeah, great. That's a really smart thing to do. Like, I wish I'd have bought Mahomes in 17. I wish I would have bought Acuna more in 18, the rare stuff. And with Acuna, the thing that's funny is I actually, in one box of Topps Update, I did get the Acuna super short print where he's walking back to the dugout, or it's not the white jersey one, but it's definitely like number 2, I think, in rarity. Maybe number 3, because I think he's got a blue jersey, a white jersey, and he's got a bunch of variations on his rookie card. But the Acuna, like the number 2 or 3, and I had it, and I sold it, like you do a lot of cards. I mean, I sold the biggest card I've ever sold that I wish I had back is I had the tricolor Mahomes select field level. I think they're numbered out 25, 35 maybe. So yeah, just yeah. I mean, I got I paid 2,000. I got over 6,000 for it, I believe. So I tripled my money on it, but I don't even know what that card's worth today. 15,000. I don't know. I even hate to look at it because it's it's one of those things like, does it do you any good to look it up and see how much money you lost, on something like that. And it's not like losing. Really be careful in the hobby is if you go back and look at every card you've ever sold and then say like, wow, if I just kept that, if I kept that, you know, probably 6 Roberto Clemente rookie cards, PSA graded 7 or above. I've sold like 3 or 4 Hank Aaron rookie cards, PSA 7 or above. So the idea that, going back and thinking about those cards, yeah. Oh my gosh, yeah. All right. Peanuts, which I really hate in cards. So here we go. Well, next up, pack. So it's a wax pack. It is. It's cool because it's got Reggie Jackson on the back, and it's hard to see because you can't see his name because it's here in the white. But by his stats, you can tell it's Reggie Jackson. And so this has got, and it says Reggie Jackson on the back. If you, it's on my screen, it's backwards. So I don't know if I got a setting wrong. I've never done this before, so I don't know if I'm just not technologically adapt here. But it is Reggie Jackson. It's just 7, but these packs are hard. 79 is pretty tough because everyone's opening for the Aussie rookie, and just I like unopened packs. I got a big unopened pack collection. I say big because they take up a lot of freaking space. Like it's probably like 60 packs, but like they take up like half a wall because of these enormous, massive holders. And I look at these holders and I just think like, I work with package engineers, and I'm like, why do you need this extra like half inch of plastic for this holder to be functional? I don't get it. I don't get why this holder has to be so freaking big. Um, obviously the funniest holder in the world is the large BGS holder that like is like 10 times bigger, 20 times bigger than the card that it's holding. So those are always very comical for me to see. So yeah, Reggie Jackson on the back. I think that's pretty cool. And I always look for star on the backs when I go places, just for fun. And I was at a show. You saw where I was at the Albany show. One person had a few of them. I think with Griffey. They had 82 Tops cello pack with Cal Ripken Jr. 83 Donruss cello, I believe, with or maybe even Fleer with Wade Boggs. So stuff like that. Here's another box. 91 Stadium Club. I got it just because it wasn't too expensive. There's a lot of packs in this thing, man. Like in 91, they were like, yeah, here's all the packs in the world. So I think 36 packs. Yeah, 36 packs. Yeah, of 91 Stadium Club. Now this has obviously got the baseball card exchange data here, seal, sticker. So obviously this has been unopened. Now, the fear I have, and if you go back to my 99 Fleer Metal video where you just see like the horror of a whole box of just stuck cards, that's my fear. Like it's not that I don't want anyone Stadium Club rip, because I would definitely do it. Like, I just ripped a 95 Finest box. Up here on my little display, I've got this box, which, I may or may not ever open because it's 95 Bowman's Best. I was preaching about Rolling card. I'm like, yeah, man, like we should all be going out and buying Scott Rowland. I bought a box of 95 Bowman's Best looking for the refractor. Then I bought the refractor, and I'm like, I don't really want to open it anymore. I've got the refractor. I got the base. I don't know if you saw my videos where I get the 95 Finest refractor. But yeah, I don't really know if I want to open that anymore. It's kind of scary. And that's after I opened up the 2017 Prison Pack and got the Mahomes rookie, which is insane that I did that. So, and I would never would have done that if I didn't have virtually nothing in that card. I mean, I sold cards, and it was part of a trade or selling trade type thing. So anyway, there's a 91 Stadium Club football. So this is Brett Favre's rookie. It's the only card worth crap in here. Maybe an Emmitt Smith will grade and you get some money, but I don't think that it would be just for that. And then last but not least is this really cool comic book content here. I'm a big Scott Pilgrim fan. Like I have some original art, and I'll show you guys my Brian O'Malley original art from the series. I've got some other original art from other artists of some characters, including a really cool Ramona. But and if you open this up, well, it's got all the characters. I might move the camera around a little bit to see all the characters, but you can see all the characters are hand painted. Yeah, there's Gideon, there's a Ramona. Just cool hand painted figures. I think there's 3 Ramonas. I don't know how many Scotts there are. There's a Nega Scott up here. And then if you kind of, I can focus the camera over here a little bit. You can kind of side. Another side, you've got Todd, Envy. You got Matt and the Demon Hipster Chicks, and there's Scott up here. So it's just cool. It's kind of a hand painted thing, I really like the scenes on it. Very colorful, very nice packaging. Got the game that this is supposed to go with. I got it at Barnes and Noble a while back. And for those who don't know, they're re-releasing Scott Pilgrim in the studio, or sorry, in the movie theater again. Everyone to go out and, if you can, find a theater that it's out and watch Scott Pilgrim on the big screen. It is by far my favorite adaptation of any comic manga property to film. Um, Coming soon's Cowboy Bebop. Cowboy Bebop is my favorite anime of all time, and has some of my favorite songs on the track. Now, my favorite kind of anime soundtrack is Fooly Cooly with the Pillows. Now, if anyone has heard that, that is like the coolest soundtrack ever. And when I was, I've been in bands before, and I've always wanted to cover some of those songs in a band. I just think that'd be really cool to cover the Pillows doing Fooly Cooly songs, just because that's something I would do. And none of my bandmates would ever want to do that. If I was in a real band that was actually in live, they would be like, "Yeah, that sounds like a horrible thing to do." But that's the thing of being in a band. Have you ever been in a band? You argue about what songs you're going to play and each other. Great. Um, so, I wanted to do my first live stream, kind of talk some cards, show you some new stuff. I'm going to figure out how I want to do my trout video. If I do as a live, I may or may not. I don't know. It's a weird format to do a collection video versus like, just a static, video you upload. But we'll see. I mean, it's cool to have like, some interaction. My channel, this is what it is. I just saw a video of the top 10 comic or card content guys, and I'm like, yeah, probably none of that for sure. Some of the guys on there were pretty good. I think in general, I'll never be in that top, because I'm never going to give advice on collecting in terms of like what's hot. Like I'll give you a tip right now. Uh, Wander Franco is going to be huge. He's killing it in the minors. Everyone knows this. This is not a secret. Go on eBay and buy some Wander Francos right now, and you'll probably make some money. Just because his rookie autos are now $2,000. Fun fact: I pulled an orange Wander Franco and sold it for $5,000 on opening day of Bowman back in 2018. And now it's like what, a $10,000 or $15,000 card. Yeah. Um, but I cashed out as soon as I could. Cards like that. I mean, I paid whatever the box cost and cashed out right away. But Wander Franco, he's coming, guys. He's the real deal, unless he gets hurt or some obviously unforeseen things happens to him. People telling you this kind of crap, you know, fun of these spreadsheets and charts and stuff, because all the data is out there. I mean, you don't really need to invest heavily in that. Had a guy at the card show talk about his charts, and he's like, "I know the pop report of every card. I got charts. I know what's undervalued based on pop report." I'm like, "That's great. Dude gets hurt, we're nothing, you know." And that's what, especially on NFL guys, you know. Let's be real. Like, there's nothing outside of quarterbacks in NFL. Another pro tip. And they get hurt. So, that's why football, I'm kind of rambling, but football is never going to be a huge speculator market because of one simple truth, is that injuries and the fact that players, once they get paid, like they don't want to be vegetables and live horrible lives. They may start retiring earlier and earlier, and not even last long enough to have Hall of Fame careers. And you see that more and more. But even if they survive, again, it's got to be quarterback seems to care about. And Aaron Rodgers and win an MVP, but miss out in the Super Bowl and your cards go down. In baseball, that would never happen. If Mike Trout wins the MVP, the Angels finish dead last. In football, Aaron Rodgers gets to the championship, round of NFC and loses, and his cards go down. In baseball, and it's just never going to be. Sports are different, so yeah. So we'll wind it down. I want to do my first one again, and hopefully, Doug, Dougie, who came in and chat. Well, and I'll try it again. This is my first chance trying out my new camera, and see you next time.